When Lil Jeff was shot and lost his life during a drill in Chicago, all eyes turned to his mother. She had raised him alone in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city. Months after his passing, the investigation took an unexpected turn when his mother shared shocking details. Who is Lil Jeff's mother, and did she have any part in his tragic end? Let us uncover the truth. Lil Jeff's mother's revelations left everyone shocked. Known on the streets as Bloodhound, his name became linked to violence and fear. Many believed he was involved in several gang-related murders. But what truly stunned people was the role his mother played in his life. Instead of keeping him away from crime, she seemed to encourage it. She cheered him on as he brought fear to the city. Whether it was because of love or a desire for attention, her support played a big part in the path he chose. One leaked chat showed Lil Jeff and his mother talking, where she expressed pride in his violent actions. Lil Jeff, whose real name was Jeffrey Thompson, grew up in Chicago, a city full of culture, but also known for gang violence. From a young age, he saw the harsh realities of his neighborhood. Gunfire was as common as children playing in the streets. In a place where survival often meant picking a side, the gang lifestyle pulled him in. But Lil Jeff was not always meant for a life of crime. In high school, he had a dream of becoming a basketball player. He wanted to go to college and make a career in professional basketball. His sophomore year was a success, with tournament victories that gave him hope. However, everything changed the next year when he did not make the varsity team. That was when he realized his future was uncertain. He once said, "I was trying to play basketball, but when I did not make the varsity team, I did not know what to do." After the setback, Jeff turned to the streets. He followed his older brother's path and became deeply involved in gang life. As Lil Jeff's name spread, so did the list of crimes linked to him. The most disturbing accusations were his involvement in the deaths of Monty and Lil Rob. These two were well known in their area, and their passing deeply affected their families and friends. Nobody knew exactly what happened, but many on the streets believed Lil Jeff was behind the killings. Some said it started with a fight over stolen watches. This theory even appeared in his song, where he rapped about the hit, saying, "They did what they did and had to pay the consequence." Another line hinted at the truth, "You would think I was lying if I told you what I did." The words in his song, along with witness statements and security footage, made the case stronger. Lil Jeff and his crew even went live on Instagram, almost taking credit for the murders. They posted the video just 16 minutes after the crime. Witnesses also confirmed seeing them at the scene, wearing clothes that matched police descriptions. The car used was later identified, adding more proof. Lil Jeff was also suspected of being involved in 11 other murders. His own song lyrics hinted at it, and his gang activities were known to be violent. It was said that his gang initiations were brutal, where he proved his loyalty through deadly actions. As the investigation into Monty and Lil Rob's deaths continued, two members of Lil Jeff's group decided to talk, revealing even more details. Bloodhound Slick and Bloodhound JMO were finally charged for the murders. Their arrests were a major step forward in the case because both had close ties to Lil Jeff and were deeply involved in gang activities. Slick, who had a reputation for being ruthless, was the first to be charged. Then came JMO, whose connection to the victims made the case even more chilling. JMO had gone to the same high school as Lil Rob and Monty, raising questions about how young lives get pulled into gang culture and the tragic consequences that follow. The investigation into the murders of Lil Rob and Monty was long and difficult. It was a fight for justice in a world filled with fear and silence. From the beginning, law enforcement struggled because gang members refused to talk. The unwritten rule of staying quiet made it hard to get information. But the investigators did not give up. With support from the community, they finally made progress. At first, police focused on collecting evidence from the crime scene and talking to witnesses. As the case moved forward, attention turned to Lil Jeff's gang. Investigators believed the murders were part of an ongoing rivalry between two Chicago gangs. This theory was backed by information from informants and surveillance, all pointing to the involvement of Bloodhound Slick and Bloodhound J. Slick was a big name in the gang. He was known for his violent ways and strong connection to Lil Jeff. His name had come up early in the investigation, but solid proof was needed for an arrest. Investigators worked day and night, gathering forensic evidence, witness statements, and intelligence reports. After nearly a year of effort, Slick was finally arrested. It was a big moment in the case, but it was not over yet. Bloodhound Jay was another key suspect. He had ties to both the victims and the gang. Since he had gone to high school with Lil Rob and Monty, investigators had to dig even deeper to understand the full picture. His arrest was the result of teamwork between law enforcement and community members who wanted justice. Throughout the investigation, police faced many challenges. Gang members tried to intimidate witnesses and interfere with the case. But in the end, the arrests of Slick and Jay made one thing clear: Lil Jeff might not have been lying when he rapped about the murders. He was now a major suspect. People could not help but wonder how someone with so much potential got pulled into such violence. The answer lay in his past. For a while, he enjoyed the fame that came with fear, but in the end, his love for violence led to his downfall. The day Lil Jeff was killed had a strange feeling from the start. There was a tension in the air, like something bad was about to happen. It was just another day in Chicago, where gang rivalries ran deep and danger was always around the corner. Lil Jeff got into yet another heated argument with a rival gang. At first, it was just words, the usual back and forth. But things quickly took a deadly turn. Gunshots rang out. Gunshots echoed through the streets, sending people running for cover. In the middle of all the chaos, Lil Jeff's survival instincts kicked in. He chased after one of his enemies, determined to come out on top. The chase led him to a house, one that would soon become the place where his life would end. As Lil Jeff got closer, someone stepped out, weapon in hand. Without hesitation, they fired. A storm of bullets rained down, and in a split second, one shot hit its mark. It pierced Lil Jeff's heart, and he collapsed. His life ended in an instant. News of the shooting spread fast, leaving shock and sadness behind. For his family, the loss was unbearable. His mother, already under fire for how she raised him, now faced even more criticism. People blamed her for supporting his violent lifestyle. She was not just mourning her son, she was dealing with guilt and judgment from the world. Friends and fellow artists in the drill music scene were shaken. Many took to social media to share their grief. Some posted tributes, while others could not believe Lil Jeff was gone. His death sparked countless discussions, with many wondering what led to his tragic end. Gang conflicts in Chicago often lead to acts of revenge, creating a cycle where music and street life are deeply connected. Many young artists have lost their lives because of this. But at the same time, drill music gives Chicago's youth a way to express themselves. It gives a voice to those who feel ignored, allowing them to share their struggles and dreams. The story of Lil Jojo. Lil Jojo, whose real name was Joseph Coleman, was a rising rapper with a fearless approach to music. His songs were full of raw energy and direct messages aimed at rival gangs. Many people in Chicago's South Side connected with his music, but at the same time, it put him in danger. One of his most famous songs, BDK 300K, was an open challenge to the Black Disciples, a well-known gang in Chicago. The song became an anthem for those against the gang, but it also made tensions worse. On September 4, 2012, Lil Jojo was shot and killed in a drive-by. Many believe his death was connected to his music and gang ties. King Von's journey. Another well-known name in Chicago's drill scene was King Von. Born as Davon Bennett, he became famous for his powerful storytelling and natural talent. His songs gave a vivid picture of life in Chicago, inspired by his own run-ins with the law and street life. As a teenager, Von started rapping under the name Young Von, but when he changed it to King Von, his career truly took off. In 2018, his song Crazy Story became a major hit. The song's success caught the attention of Lil Durk, who signed Von to his record label, Only the Family, OTF. Even as his music career grew, Von remained closely connected to gang culture. He was a known member of the Black Disciples and often mentioned this in his songs. His life was full of ups and downs. At just 16 years old, he was arrested for the first time. In 2014, he faced charges of first-degree murder and attempted murder after a shooting that left one person dead and two injured. But in 2017, he was found not guilty due to a lack of evidence. In 2019, Vaughn and Lil Durk were arrested again, accused of robbing and shooting a man outside a drive-in in Atlanta. They were later released on bail, with Vaughn's bond set at $300,000. Sadly, on November 6, 2020, King Von was shot and killed outside a nightclub in Atlanta. The shooting started as an argument between his group and another, but things quickly turned violent. Vaughn was shot several times and taken to the hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. The entire incident was caught on video, showing the chaos that unfolded. The life of FBG Duck. Carlton Weekly, better known as FBG Duck, also came from a tough background. Born on December 6, 1993, he grew up surrounded by gang violence and poverty. His father was in prison, and his mother struggled to provide for their family. Despite all of this, Duck found comfort in music. As a teenager, he began writing songs, using his lyrics to express his pain and experiences. As his talent grew, Duck started getting noticed in Chicago's rap scene. He became part of the Flyboy Gang, FBG, a rap group that included other rising artists like Lil J and Young Mello. His music gained a strong following, with mixtapes like Look at Me and This Thing of Ours helping him rise in the drill scene. But with fame came danger. Duck had public feuds with other Chicago rappers, including Chief Keef and Lil Reese. These rivalries often turned violent, and he was targeted in multiple shootings. On August 4, 2020, FBG Duck was shot and killed while shopping on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Security footage showed him trying to escape before being gunned down. His death was another painful reminder of how closely drill music and street violence are connected. The harsh reality of drill music. These artists, Lil Jojo, King Von, and FBG Duck, represent both the talent and the danger that come with Chicago's drill music scene. Their music gave them a voice and a platform, but it also made them targets. Drill music has given many young artists a way to tell their stories, but it also highlights the risks that come with being part of this world. One of the most shocking parts of Lil Jeff's story was his mother's reaction. Instead of steering him away from violence, she seemed to support the lifestyle that led to his death. It left many people wondering, how much is drill music an escape, and how much is it a trap?